Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, March the 20th. Barbara Buffaloe.
Paul, it's almost spring tomorrow, right? Is it today or tomorrow?
Barbara Buffaloe is with it. Yeah, I think spring starts the 21st, isn't it?
All right, that's tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm super excited.
This has been one heck of a long winter, hasn't it?
I know. Like when I was saying that, I was like, oh, I wonder if my kids will ever go to school again there in February.
Right. They'll be going to school into July with all the school days.
No.
Anyway, you're here today talking about recycling. One thing I wanted to ask you, because our director, Travis McMillan, is concerned about what do you do with fire extinguishers that have outlived their life. And do they outlive their life?
Yes. So our fire department will be very clear. It has an expiration date on it, right? And so you do not want to have it after that expiration date, because when you do need it, it might not work.
So you check your fire extinguisher.
Correct.
If you have it.
Yes, for an expiration date.
How long do they usually last?
I don't know that. That's a good question. I am not a firefighter.
Okay, but check
Fun fact, I'm not a firefighter.
Check it for the expiration date, and if it is expired. You
want to save that and take it to a household hazardous waste, which are starting up in April. So the 1st and 3rd. So our first weekend in April, I think that's the 6th, that Saturday. You want to take your fire extinguisher, if it's expired, to household hazardous waste, which is at 1313 Lakeview, out there near the municipal power plant at the Grissom building.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got that covered now.
So Travis will now be happy, right?
Yeah. Now the other question. I had a question for you.
Would this be the question that you texted me on a Sunday morning or called me on a Sunday morning?
I cut wood and heat the house with wood. Well, we have tarps, those old brown and blue tarps that are 20 years old, and I've been covering firewood up for 20 years.
Right.
Well, they are
and they're
just
shredding. They're probably shredding, right?
Shredding terribly. Yeah. Are those tarps recyclable?
They are not. They're very similar to the tissue paper that you put into gift baskets.
But they're plastic.
Right, exactly. But they're at the end of their life. That's what I usually talk about. That's why we reuse them as long as we can, because there's really nothing that we can do about them. They're hard to recycle, and we can't do it locally.
So if you have plastic tarps, they're not recyclable.
Correct. Try to see if you can repurpose it somehow into smaller pieces, maybe under your wood pile to kind of keep the moisture out there in other ways. And then, once they're at their end of life, you're going to want to have to throw those away.
Okay. Well, we got those two big questions in there.
But so this is a really good question, or this brings up a good answer that I have. And I love being a knowledgeable person. I love
very knowledgeable.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate having that sort of reputation. But I have to be honest. I kind of cheat.
You cheat?
I do. I kind of cheat for answers.
How do you do that?
We have an app.
Oh.
So, if I don't know, some of those things I do know the answer to, right? I can guess what to do with the tarps when they're done because I know what we collect in our system and
So what you're telling me is I could have all these answers too.
No, but then I won't be needed.
Oh, you would always be needed, Barbara Buffaloe. What's the app that people
so
can
if you can go both to como.gov/sustainability, and there at the bottom is our waste.
Wait a minute, slow down. Give it to us again.
So the city's website, if you go to como.gov.
Como.gov.
Right. And then you can either search in our search bar Waste Wizard or go to the sustainability website. And at the bottom of that website, there's this looks like a magnifying glass with a recycling emblem in the middle. And that is the Waste Wizard. And you just type in what you want, right? So we put in fire extinguisher, and I click on it. And it pops up that, that's a pressurized cylinder under 20 pounds. And you click on that, and it tells you to go to household hazardous waste.
So if I would have put in...
probably if you had put in plastic tarps, it would have had a thin film plastic that would have told me that has to be landfill.
So I should have done that instead of calling you on a Sunday morning and asking you.
Actually, that might have been, no. But you know what? I always welcome your call. That's fine.
Okay.
But we also have the app. So if you're on your cell phone or your iPad or whatever sort of device you have, there's an app, and it's the Como Recycling and Trash app.
Okay.
And the awesome thing about this device or this app is that it also will let you know if you're in the city of Columbia, if your service is delayed, or if there's any notification. So for instance, yesterday, it was 0 degrees, when we were starting the day, and it was not not safe for, or not yesterday, sorry, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was not safe for our.
I hope it wasn't yesterday.
God, I'm so tired of this
right.
winter.
So you can go to the app if you live in the city of Columbia.
Yes.
You can go to the app and
It'll tell you when your recycling your pickup day is. And the one great thing about that is that it will also send a notification if there's a change in service, right? Like if there's a holiday and there's no collection on that Monday, it'll tell you if you're a Thursday, hey, don't put your stuff out till Friday.
Oh, okay.
So it's a nice little notification, but also it's where I go to cheat to answer those
to
questions.
get all the information.
I know, I sound so smart, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Now, you just had a Fix-It fair, didn't you?
We did. This is one of my favorite events that we do. We have 4 events every year, and the Fix-It fair was just last Saturday at the library. From 1 to 4, we have them every 4, 3
So when's the next one coming up?
It's in July, and actually I'll look up the date for you.
Okay.
So we have these Fix-It fairs, and it's the idea that you bring in an object, and we have volunteers that are helping you know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So we have lamps come in often. We've had vacuum cleaners, bikes usually are what we do in July.
They have to be items that you can carry
they
in.
Do have to be items you have to be able to carry.
Don't bring in a washing machine or a dryer or but maybe you could ask questions about it.
Right, exactly. And that is actually a good question. And they can also, sometimes some of the volunteers that are helping us also know who in town might be able to fix that for you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have a bigger item and you don't know what to do, they can tell you what to do.
Okay.
But the other thing is that I forgot to take in my jacket and my button is coming off.
Oh.
So there's also seamstresses that will help you know how to repair your buttons or your hems, which for a short person is quite nice.
So
Rather than buying new pants, I can just hem them.
Fix It for everything.
It's amazing. We are such a throwaway culture that helping people have the tools to repair it themselves gives you a feeling of empowerment, but also helps us with that consumption piece that's really hard to tackle.
I'm really trying to become very aware of that. Instead of throwing things away, thinking of how I could maybe save this and reuse it at some later date. Some people call that a pack rat.
Yes, I have to be very cautious. Like, don't let my mom listen to this. So she'll be like, see? It's fine, Barbara.
Well, I try to save everything.
Yeah.
Because it is true. At one point or another, things that I've saved for 10 or 15 years, I end up being able to go and
reuse
take a part of it and use it for something.
Yeah.
And I've been criticized for that, but it always works. All right. If people want more information, they can go to the city website.
Yep, go to como.gov. We have our events on there for sustainability. You can also check us out on Facebook at Columbia Sustainability.
Okay.
Como Sustainability.
You got it. All right. And download that app. And even if you don't live in the city of Columbia, you can download the app and you find out what is recyclable and what isn't.
It's a great resource.
All right. Barbara Buffaloe, thank you so much for coming. I didn't mention that green stripe in your hair that's
Paul Pepper, your audience is going to revolt.
All right.
Thank you,
See
Paul.
you next time. Bye-bye.